最后一场比赛打苏宁的话，我觉得是苏宁是比较，就是玩的英雄比较多的战队，就比如说他们的下路是 AD，玩的英雄法师比较多，所以应该所有的压力都在GK Love 的身上嘛，所以其实我个人的话，其实没有什么特别的感觉，只是把自己的状态保持一下，就打苏宁应该没有什么大的问题，但是也一定要小心他们的一些团队的磨合吧，配合。
I mean, it doesn't get more stock standard than Xayah Rakan. So, Rookie, unfortunately, it wasn't a gimmick or a trick that took you down. It was just Suning being that much better from start to finish.
And maybe the Twisted Fate in mid lane's the only thing you could look at. But you are right. That was very stock standard. I mean, you think about it. Suning Gaming won with that standard bottom lane when they have got the Swain, when they have got the most depth available in that bottom lane. That could only bode well coming into the second game for Suning.
And I think it was a bit of disrespect from Invictus Gaming. The fact that they didn't look at Yoon's Rakan when it has been such a signature pick for him. You know that Fury and Yoon, if it's left open, will go for the Xayah Rakan. Those champions are still incredibly powerful in the meta, especially with the Storm Razors as the first rush for Xayah. And they prioritized Jackie Love with the Varus Alistair. You know, they got them good picks. They just disrespected their opponent.
Yeah, I think the Varus is perfectly fine, right? I do think that it's one of the highest priority ADs, but you can still go Varus Rakan. And by taking the Rakan, you deny the duo. Every time that there is a Rakan picked, the other side can't go Xayah unless they're denying the duo from you, right? So I do think that coming into the second draft phase, they could very easily consider that as an option or denying it away. And I'm very curious to see where these bans and picks go, because note that Suning Gaming, they've elected the blue side coming into the second game. And for IG, those bans may want to change. They got rid of an Ahri in game number 1 from Fury, and he just won with the Xayah.
Trying to take away some of those neat little tricks, and again, it was the standard play. Now, with Suning being on blue side, the priority pick was the Camille, a denial away from both Ning as well as the Shy up on the top side, but it's not the Shy that's returning to stage with them. There is a substitution. You can see him on your screen right now. It is Duke that's coming in. Now, Invictus Gaming have been doing this on and off all split. Duke has been probably their primary starter if we really add up the games just because of the Shy's injury. So this isn't just a knee-jerk reaction of, okay, we lost with the Shy, now we must play Duke because the Shy is playing poorly. This is actually just the standard Invictus Gaming move.
Yeah, and IG are at their strongest definitely at the moment with Duke playing. And that's not to say that the Shy had a very bad game 1 performance either. It's that IG weren't really able to team fight. They couldn't even get to that stage successfully. And that's something that Duke seems to have just integrated a little bit better with the rest of the team in doing.
I really always wonder what's on that clipboard as they show it to the players, like, yes, that is me.
It's a checklist of 1 through, I think, 7 on are you good with these 7 things before we go into Champ Select. I have no idea what they say because it's in Chinese, I've just seen it. But it's like a nice little handy book on like an evacuation type style. And this is how you leave the arena.
Medius and Vedius is on the case there with Rusty. Thank you for solving that mystery for myself. So we take a look at Ning. I think it personally was his poor performance in game number 1. Very early, very careless invades, lost a lot of power for the Syndra Lee Sin combo, and just frankly never really recovered from it. And it feels like you could see that written on his face.
A little bit exhausted, maybe exasperated look on Ning's face. I will say that some things can be very easily solved from him coming into game number 2. And the first thing we said after the first game was draft. He could very easily pick a different champion. We gave some options, and I still think those are real possibilities. The Lee Sin was an aggressive choice. It was the hyper-aggressive option. Now they can just taper that back a couple percent and go anywhere they would like.
That said, the rest of the members not looking too down in the dumps. They still have the ability to fight their way back from the series. It's a best of 3. Suning Gaming currently up 1 over Invictus Gaming. We're about to head into Champion Select. It's Suning on the blue side, Invictus Gaming on the red side. So red side Rookie still going to be a potent factor there. We'll see if the bans change up. As here we go.
You know, a lot of the time when these draft phases happen, you may still see an earlier rotation of the Syndra. You may still see IG choose to give their mid laner a priority pick more than just giving him the counter. But that's usually when the Shy is playing. However, they have been playing a lot of carries for Duke. He's got a mean gangplank for himself as well. So we'll see what direction it is they choose to go.
And you talked about the Trundle, but you wanted it for Ning. It feels like Suning Gaming are in agreement with you, Rusty, because the Camille is banned from IG alongside Rakan and Akali. So giving that respect to Yoon. Blue side bans Rise, Tahm Kench, and Aatrox. Priority takeaway of Trundle, the other big jungler, forces Ning to continue to look down into his champion pool and figure out what it's going to be. Looks like it's going to be the Kindred.
Yeah, chooses to go towards the Kindred, knowing full well that there's not going to be a viability to just pick the Sejuani, really. I don't know why I brought that up, but hey, Trundle's there, so don't pick Sejuani. Good stuff. Kindred secure. I don't know where I was going with that. Kindred locked in does give an
Just
offensive choice.
It goes all the way back around.
Yeah, no, but back. It does give a ranged champion. So this is one of those rare cases where you could consider a mage in the bottom lane, or you could consider a lethality user in the bottom lane, because you've got the consistent damage already there.
It also means that there's not a lot of options if Angel himself wanted to look towards a pick like Syndra, because you do have the ability to deny the assassination with the Land's Respite. So I think it is very interesting how Kindra fits into the current meta, even though she started to slip backwards. We saw a little bit in the NALCS quarterfinals this morning, China Standard Time, but I believe only one game and didn't fare too well. But we also saw a lot of Shin as that's now being picked up for Yoon, and with his Rakan banned, he goes back to the next big staple. Do not be fooled. This man is a master of hard engaged, dash-oriented supports.
Definitely true. He's got the Rakan, he's got the Shen. Xiaowao can consider picking that one up, but it's definitely just going towards these supports now. But the Swain is up.
Yep.
You pick Shen, you pick Swain. That is the duo, and that is the duo that Suning Gaming have beaten RNG with. They have won the 2v2 against RNG with that.
But look at the respect. You talked about Duke's signature gangplank and the fact that they're willing to give away the Swain. You would imagine that it's going to be banned in second phase if Invictus Gaming don't decide to pick it up for Rookie or Duke themselves and then flex the pick. They can simply just take it away. There's still a wealth of options. And do you think this was the right move, as Invictus Gaming now get 2 bans as well as first pick rotation? They see what the top lane's going to be. They can sculpt this matchup however they want. They have things like Gnar, they have things like Kennen, Mundo.
Yeah, I'm actually super curious to see how this pans out. I can't say it's the wrong decision by any means. I think that gangplank priority is a very good thing for them to do because they are on blue side. IG get the first pick a priority here in the second pick phase, so I can understand what they're thinking. And the opportunity for IG now to ban the Swain, you're right, is absolutely there. And I'm just looking at Fury, you know, his champion pool. What could he pick up that is also going to be a mage that isn't Swain if they exploit him in that role? And there aren't a lot of other options for him there.
Could look for something like the Orianna, as Duke having a bit of a giggle. He knows the gangplank's been taken away from him, denied at the last second for Xiaowao, who also a great gangplank player in his own right. Now losing access to the Cho'Gath, one of the few champions that can also cause a lot of problems for GP up there.
Cho'Gath and Mundo, usually the 2 bans. Not that gangplank hard loses to a Mundo by any means, but Mundo is just Mundo, so naturally that is the direction most people in the second ban phase have gone towards. I look forward to seeing where Duke does go, because he can play some pretty outlandish things. Even consider that Fiora is weirdly enough an option for him.
And in fact, they're still trying to pinch that pool and figure out where Duke's going to land. He's having another chuck. He's like, come on, man, just leave me any champion. Orange, Cho'Gath, Aatrox, all taken away. The Swain, also the ban that we were talking about, away from Fury. And now what's it going to be, IG?
It may even Jace. Like, don't
Jace,
forget that
Gnar,
he'll consider
Kennen.
winning. Lane super hard. Yeah, Kennen, definitely an option.
They're going to hide it and give him the last counter pick to roll out their composition. Something that Invictus Gaming's comp is severely lacking is hard engage right now. Now, they do have the Braum as well as the Varus, but it's not that long-range hard engage that so many of our LPL teams like to run with access to things like Flash Taunt Shen, like Rakan, like Ornn.
Well, the tough thing here for IG is that the Ornn was the ban. So we'll get to see the RE locked in from Fury, but with the Ornn gone, when we're looking at IG, my challenge is what would they pick that can actually provide them with long-range engage? And my only other thought is something that can flank super well. And, you know, a weird consideration may even be the Poppy. Instead of having pure engage, it's about forcing number mismatches around objectives or getting flanks on.
I actually feel like they're being punished a bit for the priority of the Kindred when things like Sejuani were also available. Now, taking Sejuani into Trundle doesn't feel great, but it could have left them open to grab a Zac later on. But now it feels like they're forced into this Kindred jungle pick. They can't then pivot and have something like a Fiora in the top side, because if they want to prioritize a strong matchup for Duke, which they're going to grab the Vladimir, they have sacrificed all of their hard engage. So Invictus Gaming, very reliant on a lot of their skill shots and a lot of their non-targetable CC to connect if they ever get a lead to force it.
High damage composition, however, from them. We're Suning Gaming on the opposing side. Ari was banned from them in game number 1. They're able to lock that one down. Angel with his MVP-worthy performance on the Twisted Fate, also going to back-to-back on that champion. And you look towards their engage. It's not the most obvious thing there as well. It's not long range, but they've got a lot of crowd control that they can throw at, that they can layer and that they can successfully lock you down, and their map movement is something to be feared.
And again, a lot of those scaling options because they have the Twisted Fate and the Gangplank, the ability to separate, to split up the map, to play the side lanes, to play the picks, especially on top of the Marksman Ahri. The last time we saw Fury play this did play the AP route, so going for a true assassin mage down there. And I feel like, again, a lot of eyes have to be on Fury and Yoon in this bot lane. Yoon on his signature pick, or his secondary signature pick of the Shin, has been known to just find any first blood available, and Jackie Love and Baolan have a history of struggling against Shin in the bot lane particularly.
Yeah, definitely true. A lot of the LPL struggles against the good Shen players, and the LPL also has a lot of good Shen players. So coming into this second game, we'll have to see how the bottom lane goes. It's not the same combo, you know? It's not the Shen taunt followed immediately into a pullback from Swain, so they do lose one form of crowd control there. But as far as Ahri combos are concerned, Charm is really, really crucial to hit. Taunt locks you down, so you're able to hit that one. And I think the 2v2 combo still has a whole lot of damage, and Fury has proven already that he is just a master of the pick.
I haven't investigated too heavily into it, Rusty, so maybe you can explain some things to me. In Ahri, as a marksman, is she leveling or putting more points into the Q or the Charm?
It's still a full mage option, so definitely straight into the Q. I think Charm goes second with the changes to Ahri. There are considerations to put points into Charm and W simultaneously. I'm sure we'll get to see a lot more of that as we do get onto the Rift, though, for the second game.
Again, pretty stock standard composition, at least for Suning Gaming, even though it is an Ahri marksman, as this is the second time they've played it, and we head on to the Rift for Game 2. Suning up 1-0.
I really like that sign from IG. There is one fan that is always here for IG's games in support of Jackie Love, but they've lost the letter C. So Jakey Love in the bottom lane has been actively supported every single time IG play it comes up on screen.
Don't you have a player, Jakey, in the OPL?
Yeah, he's Jake with a Y, but there's a Y there.
So Jaco?
What?
Don't Australians just add an O to everything?
Oh yeah, they mostly do. I think Jake's one of those rare cases where you can't really add an O to it and make it sound good. So Jake becomes like Jazza.
I knew that you guys were out of control when I was listening to an actual commercial on TV and you shortened car registration to Rego.
Rego, yeah.
I was like, you guys are out of control.
License and Rego, please.
That said, we're now driving into this game. Nice segue, nailed it. It's top.
Pat on the back. Fairy claps, everyone. I've segued into...
I've got the job. It's a top jungle start from Kindred, bottom jungle start for Trundle, which means that Hacker and Ning will be desynced. And good thing for Invictus Gaming, I just noticed most of them are now plat, except for Ning. He gets to sit in gold. Gold 5 for you.
Yeah, your in-game performance may, determine how many people choose to vote in confidence of you. I'll say that Belan and Ning, unfortunately, are sitting in gold, but the rest of IG doing quite well for themselves. However, Suning Gaming as a team just leaps and bounds ahead. They've hit that diamond.
Starting to scale up. Now, reminder that this is for our viewers back at home. If you're watching on a streaming platform, you can actually vote. I believe give little tokens to the teams and the players that you like, and then it takes a medium, I guess, of the team and gives you your rank. So at the top, you can see that Suning are plat, Invictus Gaming are, I'm going to say that's gold. Looks a little bronze from where I'm standing.
IG?
Yep.
You can only be gold or higher, so you can't actually feel bad about being bronze, you know what I mean?
Yeah, but if you're still last place.
Yesterday we didn't know that, so we were just like, Beachy's bronze. And then we realized they were gold, so we felt bad.
A bit of back and forth in this mid lane, however. Rookie, he got the Syndra, he was bowling Angel in game 1. This time around, it's the Zoe, and things certainly shouldn't change. And Hacker still hyper-aggressive with this invade, despite the fact that he doesn't have any follow-up from his mid laner should Ning show up, so rightfully backs off the popcorn chicken.
He's able to grab himself some chickens though, feeling decent about that one. He's also gone towards the Tiamat rush with his itemization, so the rejuve bead there. If he was to take a trade against Ning, it's not the ideal scenario for him. You have to rely on that base health regeneration. Nice little taunt in the bottom, a big taunt actually.
Every time! Baolan and Jackie Love seem to struggle against the Shin, and Baolan does manage to flash and get out with his life using both his summoner spells, but that is a huge blow to them. They still retain control of the lane, potting up, making sure that they can stay healthy here, at least for the time being. But Jackie Love and Baolan just cannot catch a break against these Shins.
You know when a Shen taunt connects, you don't often say, well, Baolan is dead from full health as a Braum, but that's where the Ari charm comes into play. It's not something you're actively looking for, and it's not something you actively expect, but he is preyed upon. That tower damage really added up.
And the terrifying thing is that Yoon still has access to Flash. You can see that Trundle is in the area, which is why Baolan peeked a bit to the top side, placed down the ward. They do see Trundle coming in, but all eyes on Yoon. Can he connect the Flash taunt?
Yeah, it's pretty far away. IG now with vision, of course. They'll back away a little bit more, play super defensively. Yoon's still in range, however. They can still consider taking the trade in the 2v2. Now, other considerations is that Rookie, whilst he's low on mana, is controlling mid, so he's preventing access from a Twisted Fate. Twisted Fate's gone for the cleanse this time around, not the Ignite as his base summoner as well, because he's against the Zoe, so a bit less offense in that middle area of the map. And junglers are having a much better experience overall. Ning and Hacker, they haven't really attacked each other, though they've been attacking each other's jungle. It means that everything, in a much more standard sense, will equalize across the board.
Ning, in fact, just picking up one of his marks on Trundle's Raptor camp there. Now placing some defensive vision, and it feels like Baolan, with great timing on that tri-ward brush, has diffused a lot of what Suning Gaming were trying to set up in their early game in terms of playmaking, and everything has settled for an IG early lead in the gold.
We actually get ourselves a cozy game number 2. So you're looking at what those break points will be. Twisted Fate, of course, being 6 is a big deal, but we lost a level 2 Trundle gank. That was always a possibility. Trundle and Camille, 2 of the strongest level 2 gankers in the game currently. Their access to lanes, or at least forcing of summoner spells via things like the Pillar. But level 6 is then the next thing that you look towards. However, I would rather be a Kindred at level 6 than a Trundle if I'm ganking. Trundle gets tankiness, and Ning has also found the Trundle.
And it's also level 5 versus level 4. Early flash from Hacker
Whoa!
just to get away from Zoe, but doesn't get away from that one. Rookie now picks up first blood, and where his flash didn't connect in game number 1, it definitely connects in game number 2. Picks up an extra one, actually.
Yeah, doesn't even need to use his own summoner spell to execute on that one. The distance he covered, I was very surprised he was able to do that without the flash, but good control of the middle lane once again. Minion dematerializer, giving himself the push, focusing on getting that priority for Ning to be set up in the jungle just that little bit better. And suddenly IG, this is much more their flavor.
Yeah, looking like they're in full control here, and something is going to have to happen to the Zoe, but still retaining and holding on to Cleanse now at level 6. I don't think there's really a break point. It'd have to be multiple ganks, multiple connections of the CC, but hold on top lane.
They're actually looking for the gank onto Xiao. Well, he's not going to have a lot of summoners available to get himself out. Flash was used early. And Invictus Gaming, they make it 2-0.
And Ning is now running away with this game. 1-0-1, has picked up several marks, I believe, at least 3 to his name if I've been keeping track, and now participating in both the kills. This Kindred is going to be a big problem.
5 marks already?
I saw him grab 3 in the last, like, 2.5 minutes.
Yeah, he's got 5 marks at 6 minutes in the game, so he's got the increased range already. That is an unreasonably large Kindred.
Big girl.
The screens are far away from us, but I'm pretty sure that says 5. It's also hard to read.
I know, right?
The colors.
No, we just got confirmation it is 5. We apologize. We don't have access into clients. We just have to read off the monitors. You see it as we do.
I'm wearing glasses. For
I am
a
not.
reason.
And I should be.
Oops, gave myself a one-way excuse.
It's okay, I don't know who Shaggy is. Now 8 minutes into this game, about 7:30, I can read the numbers.
I'm sorry for your loss, by the way.
So am I. Invictus Gaming sitting nice and cozy into this game. No one's really gone back and fully capitalized on the little gold lead and pocket that they've created for themselves, but they have pressure in every single lane, and all eyes really should be on Ning. He's going to hand over this blue buff to Rookie, clear out some of this vision throughout the bottom side river, and where do IG want to attack next?
I mean, that's actually a funny question, right? Where do IG want to attack next when realistically they don't need to attack anything? At this point in the game, you're 8 minutes in, you're winning lanes, you're growing CS advantages. The question could be more so, when do Suning choose to go to base? Because if you're losing lanes, you're having a bad time and you are being pressured, the onus is on you. But if you're still losing them and you don't have the health bars, I mean, eventually IG are just going to break a turret organically through controlling the lanes. I think a lot of this goes on FLICKR, rests on the jungler, rests on Twisted Fate being level 6 on where can he make the play. Because if you're IG, you just business as usual right now. Control the lanes, feel real good about yourself as those turrets start to get lower and lower.
And what do Invictus Gaming need to do to deny backtimers from Suning? Is this just a matter of staggering their backs and holding them into lanes? Is this a matter of, you know, chipping away at health but not going for all-ins? Like, how do you as a player want to play this position in the lane phase to make sure that they don't go back?
To me, it's less about, you know, preventing them from recalling. It's about forcing them to need to recall, right? By winning trades, not just winning all-ins, and forcing bigger plays. If you can control 3 different places on the lane at once, and if you know where their jungler is, which is, that's the IG special, right? Ning tracks his opposing jungler, IG wins 3 lanes. Wherever he isn't, you pressure them out.
Well, right now he's bottom lane. Fury and Yoon trying to escape with their lives. The Ahri ultimate is used to create distance as well as the flash, but here comes Rookie, finds the more sparkles, finds the kill, and Rookie now sitting 2-0 on the Zoe, full control over the mid lane, and Angel is nowhere to be found.
And Rookie will be feeling really good about that one because he doesn't go towards the electrocute. He actually has the Airy on his Zoe for more poke in lane, but that poke's also what gets him the kill in the bottom lane. Doesn't need to hit the Q if he's got an auto. Airy comes in and says, yes, please, and secures that one.
Now, there was a potential window. In fact, Trundle just canceled the back that Angel could look to swing up topside, make a play on Duke in that Vladimir, but it looks like it's going to fizzle out. He's going to sit here for the wave. Hacker spots a control ward in the early river, and there is no counterplay for Suning Gaming.
Very different performance so far from games 1 to 2. For IG, namely, Suning Gaming were very aggressive very early into the piece, and we actually think about it, you know, what changed the state of this game? In game 1, Suning at level 2 ganked top lane, and then that revealed the position of the jungler, and the map just went haywire all at once. But this time around, because it was more about the cerebral style, the counter jungling, the playing slowly around lanes, suddenly IG feel more comfortable. And it almost goes to prove that there's a world where you just throw so much chaos into the mix that you can beat IG. Otherwise, they do this to you.
Don't allow them to slow down. Use the superior veteranship calls to play a calculated game. Is now 10 minutes, closing in on 11. Ning is taking this Rift Trail. Some skirmishing down into the bottom lane. Shouldn't amount to anything unless someone wants to get very crazy. I didn't think you wanted that, Yoon.
About 5 seconds on the Varus ultimate, then maybe they consider turning some things around on, turning on rather the aggression. That'll be a free Herald, however, on the top side for Ning. Very comfortable one at that. You look towards where the Trundle is, he's going to deny the mark at the Krugs, so thinks he's doing the correct thing, but a little bit late.
And now it feels like they're almost forced to try to play into the bottom lane, which is why Rookie is immediately making a rotation. He's got full control over pretty much that bottom side. We call it the Silk Road behind the Dragon Path in the LPL. There's 2 control wards as well as now a trinket placed very deep on the Raptor camp. So Invictus Gaming trying to create a very wide safety net for Jackulov and Baolan to just keep Ahri and Shen here.
And the problem with setting things wide is that often it misses things through the cracks, but this time around, because of the control they have, it's very hard for things to sneak through those cracks.
And I do want to kind of go back to this Airy point, as we just saw one of the trades there that you brought up, Rusty, and just how much damage Rookie is doing just by using more sparkles, auto attack, and Airy, even without connecting the big burst damage from Zoe.
And as an example, if you're playing Zoe into, say, a Syndra, you walk up with your Spell Thief available and you just want to proc Airy with a more Sparkles auto, you probably lose that trade to Syndra. When you're against the Twisted Fate, if you step up aggressively and he starts rolling the cards around, you see that he's on a blue card, you've got 2 ticks there to actually be aggressive, get the Airy trade off and back away, because more Sparkles gives you movement speed. You know, this is one of those things where I respect the choice of Twisted Fate again, but into the Zoe this time, not the Syndra, whilst you'll have a better experience in lane and you'll farm more safely. The Zoe just pushes harder than you do until you have a full complete item, and that's when you want to come online, but that's also when a Zoe just one-hits everyone on the map.
And Zoe playing that pressure game does mean that the backs finally come in for Suning, but not at a ridiculous cost. Ahri and Shin lose their bottom lane tower. Twisted Fate could possibly lose his mid lane tower, as all of the focus from IG should now be placed here. They still have access to the Rift Herald. Zoe has constantly been in Angel's face. He's been unable to roam. His tower has survived some of the chip damage, but you can already see that IG are looking deep and they're looking mid.
That's very aggressive movements here from Baolan, working with Ning. Of course, Jackulov visible on the bottom side, 1v1 against an Ahri. As they press forwards, it's not the blue buff they're after just yet. It is those turrets, trying to break those like you point out. I would say it's better to focus mid, perhaps, because the Twisted Fate can immediately be visible top, and that's where Suning may make the play.
And Suning looking for the counterplay, just as you said, the gold card needing to wait until he comes out of pool, flash to create distance, TP from the backline is now the cannon barrage across 2 members. Fury uses the TP, then the ultimate into the backline. He's now on Baolan. It's going to be 2 quick kills for Suning. They're back on the board. They hold the top lane, but ultimately in return, JackeyLove, free EXP, free gold, and free rain on bottom tower.
And really, it is still good from Suning Gaming that they make the plays they do. That was with no hesitation towards the top side. But once again, IG, whilst they lose members, they've got the plan set up in advance. They've got the future movements available. They've got a Herald to summon for a free charge. I mean, they've got JackeyLove demolishing bottom with a teleport from Baolan as well to continue that pressure forwards. And they still come out on top when honestly they shouldn't be, because they're the ones who overstep.
Yep, double charge as well. And bot tower may actually fall here. Like you said, Baolan using his own TP and Rookie threatening from the side with the Zoe. They could look to go all in as soon as this tower falls. Here comes Rookie, big damage on Yoon. The tower does go down. Invictus Gaming playing this team fight rather slow. Going forward, chasing with that range. There's the flash from Ning, picks it up with the red buff.
Well done from Ning securing that kill. The excess range helping so much for him as well. Rookie's going to pick up the Spell Thief flash, able to use that one in the forthcoming fights. And you better believe that goes towards mid lane pressure as they have vision on the entire red side jungle. As Suning Gaming, even Duke on the top side of the map during this has accrued himself a CS lead and starts to control that tower. IG just on a tear.
3 towers in the last 5 minutes, now going to be the top tower as well as the Ocean Dragon. It's a double Ocean, a huge boom for a Varus Zoe composition. They want to sit, they want to use the long range poke, and now they have double Ocean to make it happen as we look back at that top lane play.
And mechanically very sound from Angel, uses the Q, puts an animation in effect, and Duke has to reactively puddle. So he is going to instantly go down, and Fury gets up here very early as well, right on time to help the rest of his team. Well navigated from Suning overall. But you have to remember the cost of that was so high, the resources put into that was so high that IG, who were already winning lanes, just stayed in those lanes and broke turrets.
Suning finally using one of their win conditions, which are the multiple global presence. The fact that they have access to the Destiny, that they have a teleport on Ahri versus a cleanse on a Varus. They can play this numbers game and split up the map, but so far they've been unable to attack that in the lane phase. Now as we approach 16 minutes, as these towers fall, as the mid game truly begins to happen, maybe more opportunity for Suning to continue to attack this map, to split it up, to find these picks.
Yeah.
Whereas IG, they've got the gold lead still. They've got the power spikes on their champions. They're ready to fight right now.
You know, one thing that does exist for Suning, which will always help a lot, is that a Twisted Fate and Ahri, very good at clearing waves from defensive positions. You throw the Q, you throw the wild cards, and then the wave is basically just gone. So it's a hard thing for IG to consider pressing forwards unless they make more of a set play. You can't really just poke away at turrets because the wave's already gone.
See if they're able to defensively clear those towers, and if they can stall out a little bit, try to get more items on some of these scaling champions like the Gangplank, and we saw used to such great success in game number 1. But right now, Invictus Gaming, the only thing that feels like holding them back is that they don't have guaranteed hard CC. Again, it's about hitting these long-range skill shots, but all of the poke seems to be landing, and Rookie is really leading the charge on the Zoe as another bubble. Huge damage on Trundle.
Yeah, he's also going to get hit by the Varus Q on the other side, so they pierced him through the heart. He's going to have to go back to base. Another wave will crash in mid in a little while. Suning Gaming, once again, that wave clear has bought them a whole lot of time, but the damage is being done again. He didn't even know he was there.
And of course, then the only response that Suning have is that they must immediately pull the trigger and try to force fights. Otherwise, Rookie fish in a barrel all day from this position, waiting for the waves to crash in, forcing these towers to go down. Suning are running out of time and more damage.
Actually insane. Rookie cannot miss a skill shot at all right now. Pressing forwards, he missed one as I said it, but the point remains. Pressing forwards, looking to get this turret down. The Varus ultimate is basically the point where someone who oversteps dies, because that can be followed by the rest of IG's combo. And that's the real threat here. Rookie just pretending his Nidalee from Season 1 will poke until their health bars are threateningly low, and then you watch JackeyLove.
Now here may be the small window, although FLICKR now very low. The Braum ultimate comes down just to zone them off the tower, but Invictus Gaming, they're going to push their luck. They find more damage onto Angel, and they're just finding Suning between these back timers. Suning, they can't gravitate the members, they can't look for the hard engagement, they're not 5-man strong, and Invictus Gaming are just running through their base because of it.
Yeah, my god, this is oppressive from the side of IG. Gets the
Oh my
kill
God.
as well, just blows him up, Rookie, and they're still going forwards.
Completely deleted right there. It's now going to be 2 members for Suning Gaming deleted. Invictus Gaming are snowballing and running away with the game. This is completely different game number 2 from game number 1. It felt like Suning got this type of lead and things kind of stalled out. They maybe waffled a bit around the mid game. Invictus Gaming get a lead like this, and hold on boys, we're going to show you how it's done. Take an mid inhib before 20 minutes.
Yeah, 18 minutes in the game, just ticking over to 19. They're able to just brute force their way through mid. The siege that IG have got is insane right now. And when you think about, you know, how does Suning turn that around? How do they engage in their opponents? It is not through a 5v5, and it is not through a 5v5 in the middle lane. That is the least accessible place for them to get those team fights. They can't get flanks off successfully. Whoever's on the flank dies. IG are just controlling them.
And it's so hard because that's exactly where Invictus Gaming want to actually play this game. It's a siege-oriented composition between the Varus and the Zoe. They thrive when they're sitting into a lane phase. Now, things can get a little bit more dicey if they don't kind of dot their I's and cross their T's when setting up Baron vision, but if they do have the vision control and they are able to play over these walls and play with Fog of War, then this composition can be just as scary with Varus and Zoe, but otherwise they want to be pushed up to towers, they want to have their flanks covered, and they want to continue to fish in a barrel Suning Gaming.
I feel like every time we look at Suning, they're recalling, just because of the poke that has been consistently hitting, and having to be forced to recall is not always the best case scenario. Only 2 people, maybe 3 on the map can afford to. If 4 if you include Twisted Fate, depending on the distance he has to cover. But because they're being forced out so much, teleports are going to get used very quickly. And a single teleport is the opportunity for IG to bait a Baron. It's the opportunity rather, to force Suning out of their comfort zone. And that's where a Zoe pounces. That's where their vision control that they currently have is able to reign supreme.
And they're fighting for that vision control right now as we speak. A single control ward and a barrel from Xiao holding down the line. Here comes the Destiny. They see that Vladimir is down bottom. He can TP in. They do find Balan and Jackie Love. A quick cleanse as Jackie Love's turning this one around. Fury dashes out of the queue. But meanwhile, it's now Rookie and Balan trying to fight from the side. But the CC and the poke is not layering from Invictus Gaming. Duke finally joins the fight, but the damage has been done. Suning hold on and pick up more kills.
You look at the blinking health bars from Suning Gaming, you can't help but say that a single Vladimir ultimate might have been all it takes to knock them all down, but they get the fight thereafter, and they do not lose the turrets at their nexus. Very clutch there from Suning Gaming to take that aggressive choice. Another time someone gets put to sleep, but no matter, Suning, they buy themselves some time.
2 minutes and 13 seconds exactly. They're trying to wait for that inhib to respawn, keeping their Nexus towers strong. They saw the tiny window that they had where Duke was bottom, forced the Vladimir to use the TP, doesn't get there in time. And it's just another quick hit and run for Suning Gaming as they try to hold on. But Rusty, can they actually outscale Invictus Gaming? What is the breaking point where Suning can actually start fighting IG on fair footing?
I don't think they could outscale Invictus Gaming right now with the comp. They've got the Zoe, has too much control, and all it takes is a single one hit and the game's over, and you're seeing the potential of exactly that from Rookie. He continues to press forwards. If you were to give Suning Gaming anything, it's that they can still 1-3-1, it's that they can still assassinate people, and that their map mobility and a semi-global sense is actually incredibly high. You send a Twisted Fate to the Ahri lane, then Ahri has the teleport as well. You send an Ahri to that lane, she has teleport to join the rest of the team. You got the Gangplank ultimate, you've got the Shen ultimate as well. Like, they can be global in an instant, but that's really it, because IG with this lead forced the 5v5 regardless.
And Invictus Gaming recognize that they've got a minute left on that mid inhib before it spawns. They know they have full control of the river. They're going to shred the Baron as here comes Hacker, maybe the hero that they need. He's in the pit. He doesn't get the smite. It is secured by Ning. Now the fight commences. Duke is on the back line, separating the fight as Lamb's Respite now takes care of the Trundle. Health goes back to IG.
Fury.
A lot of their members are low. Suning now 3 versus 3. They've managed to hold them off, but look at their base. Creeps are coming in, and I think they're going to have to disengage. Ning is actually swinging around very wide, looking for the flank. Rookie may have overstepped, waiting for Ning to get in position. They turn on him, but he's able to cleanse, disengage, pops Angel. Now Duke on the charge, 2 versus 3. Yoon and Xiaowao, backs against the wall. Ning flashes forward, but here's the blast cone.
They should be able to get out. They definitely should be able to get to safety, but that is a deep flank from Duke. They are preventing this at all costs, Prosser. That blast cone was very unfortunate for Yoon. He is just dead to rights. The sacrifice for Suning.
Took the turn a little bit too sharp, fell over, his tricycle wheels gave out. He's like, oh no, I've slid into the enemy.
It's really unfortunate. There was a chance he could have survived that as well, but the positioning on that blast cone was very unsettling.
And after it was all said and done, it wasn't just the team fight and the Baron, it was also a Nexus structure. You can look down on your mini-map. Suning's base are in tatters. Their mid inhib has respawned, protecting their Nexus for now. But ultimately, this is one hard push from IG away from a game over and a game 3.
Definitely the case. Now we look towards the Baron fight. Hacker was in the pit, but as he got to it, he was crowd controlled by a good ult from Balan. I think literally a Teemo out of smite range. And this is that moment you see Fury come in. He's got the 5 members sitting inside the Kindred ultimate, perhaps ready to assassinate, but Duke's got his finger on the pulse. He locks him down. And when Rookie steps up here, picks up the Zonias, thinks that he can make the plays, and he actually can because he's got Cleanse, Flash, and he's got the Zonias there. He baits a lot of spells. Gets stunned, cleanses out, and he's still got the mobility there to follow up with kills regardless. So it's actually really well navigated from Rookie, using his resources to the fullest in a situation where other players probably would not go for that, because that's just needlessly risky, face-checking 3 people.
And very strong corralling from Invictus Gaming. The fact that Ning was sent so deep down, you knew that IG wanted to look for the kills. They didn't just want to let Suning disengage from the fight, do as much damage as possible. But here comes possibly the initial and last charge from IG with this Baron. They start up into the top lane. They've got Duke setting themselves up for the mid lane. I've got this one safe for later, boys.
Yeah, they choose not to go bottom lane at all. They don't really need to. Vladimir can threaten the inhib instead, as that's a lot of damage on the Rookie, actually. That was a charm connecting. Suning, they're going to make the plays.
The Destiny comes to the back line. He flashes over. He finds Rookie. Angel now in a bit of trouble, using the Hourglass to buy himself some time. Shen gets into it, finds the taunt, but is unable to connect. Meanwhile, Jackie Love and Balan have held down the fort on the other side. Ning now cleans up the pincer, and Suning Gaming, they thought that they had the assassination on Rookie, but there are damage threats on every single member of IG, and they rip Suning apart from the inside out.
So they thought they had potentially the opportunity, maybe just buying more time, but that's not going to happen at all. In fact, with 4 dead and only 1 Nexus turret standing, IG, they will be taking us to a 3rd game with a very clean game number 2 performance.
A much more controlled Invictus Gaming, Ning in particular on this Kindred, 5-1-5, Rookie on the Zoe, 5-1-3. The mid-jungle duo doesn't collapse, and Invictus Gaming will now decide, is it the Shy or Duke that starts for the final game leading into playoffs?
It's a curious discussion that they do need to have as well after that game. I don't feel like the top lane has made the ultimate difference. I think it was, overall play from IG that was cleaned up so much more. I would expect that Duke will be the one who comes out. However, at the end of the day, IG, they take the punch from game number 1. They come back swinging in the second.
And you can see it written on the gold graph. It was just too easy for Invictus Gaming. Over a 10k gold lead in their favor. Look at the damage from Rookie, 22.7. This is 815. Doesn't matter. Zoe reigns.
And Rookie Zoe is actually just rank. You cannot give him the champion, man. He's too clean on it. Has been getting banned away from him recently. You think back to his recent highlight reels when IG actually had their owner playing a game as Jin. He hard carried that one. They basically 4v5'd him over the line. 1-hit triple kill. Rookie Zoe is nasty, and once again he gets the pick. He gets to display how he has mastery of not just Akali, not just the Syndra, not just Orianna, but every champion that goes mid.
And I do want to kind of start this discussion in the champion select, because I had some concerns when I saw Invictus Gaming piecing together. Like, yes, you still have the comfort picks like Zoe for Rookie, but if you look at this comp, it doesn't have a lot of predictable hard CC. There's not Ornns, there's not Rakans, there's not even a Gangplank ultimate that a lot of the LPL teams really rely on. So it was all about hitting the skill shots, which we've seen in the North American LCS. If you don't hit the skill shots on Zoe, everything falls apart.
Yeah, definitely true. And I will say, you look at it, you'd say Braum does a lot, especially because there is a Kindred. So that's something that helps a little bit. And I think as a force pick was actually very smart from Invictus Gaming and rounded out something where they definitely did not have anything in the way of hard engage. But you do look towards the top side and say, that could have been an earlier look at a Sejuani if it wasn't a Trundle on the other side. The Ornn was always a possibility if it wasn't banned away in the second ban phase by Suning Gaming. And these picks could round out the composition better, but they played well with what they had. and they navigated well with what they had, rather accordingly around the fact that, you know, Rookie hits every Sleepy Trouble bubble, and that the Varus has so much threat of engage.
Is this as simple as looking for game number 3 from Suning Gaming, that you just say, okay, we can't give Rookie Zoe, he's just too good at the champion was able to unlock too much, that you just throw it at the ban board? Or do you think Suning need to go back and kind of reinvestigate their style of composition?
You know, I don't think that you look at Rookie Zoe and say that we need to ban it just as much as we need to ban the other 6 champions that he's currently incredibly good at. You look towards more so matchups than anything else. And if Angel's going to continue to play the Twisted Fate, then I don't think Zoe is the biggest cause for concern, because I think the Twisted Fate's got its merits against the matchup where you go to elsewhere on the map. So I would say, if you want to play Twisted Fate, don't just immediately ban the Zoe, unless you truly believe that Rookie on the pick is too oppressive and too strong individually, and it's a must ban.
It simply could be an issue, though, that Angel doesn't have a wide enough champion pool. I mean, we've seen LeBlanc from him, we've seen Lissandra, now the Twisted Fate, but, you know, he's not grabbing things as confidently like the Orianas, like the Rises.
I think the word's confident. When you actually look at Angel, and the reason he came into Suning Gaming's roster is he was replacing Fen, and he immediately came in and played 3 champions that Fen's never played in his life. You know, in the first series, he proved that he's got a Yasuo. He proved that he's got a Lissandra as well. So in terms of depth of champion pool, Angel's got it. But the word confidence comes to mind, because he's not just playing champions anymore. He's playing champions against Rookie. And what is he comfortable on? Well, he must be a Twisted Fate main, right? Because he comes into this one, he's like, I'm going to play my best champion. I'm going to wear my best clothes today. And we are just going to beat Rookie comfortably.
And wasn't able to beat Rookie that time around, controlled entirely the mid lane. Now, there was one moment of high for Suning Gaming. It felt like it started out in that top side of the map. They got some of those kills. Again, it was the TP discrepancy. Ari had it. Varus did not.
Yeah.
But it didn't amount from anything from that point. You know, Suning maybe got a couple of kills, but they never followed up on any sort of towers.
Yeah, and it's interesting because even watching the game, you're like, this is the one thing IG shouldn't be doing, because Suning will capitalize, and then in a heartbeat they did. So credit to Suning for making the plays. But for IG, they can afford to take those risks, and it's something that IG do, because they're very good at controlling lanes, and they know full well that if you're going to put a 5-man commit, you're going to use 3 teleports, 3 ultimates, and throw everything in the top side of the map, but we're already winning mid-turret, we're already winning bottom lane, then we know that the cost will be so high for you that we can make the trade. And I wonder if that's what IG are actually thinking, because at the same time, they still made the mistake to get picked off.
And that's the thing. And I was actually just going to point out from game number 1, it was the same mistake that Invictus Gaming made, where they decided to commit everything bottom lane, didn't attribute the Gangplank ultimate or the Destiny again, got beat out by 2 global ultimates, and then just fed into a snowballed mistake because their Lee Sin was so far behind the Camille. Game number 2, they decided to try again to play against global ultimates, get caught off by the Destiny, but it's simply because Jackie Love can't fall. You know, if he did have teleport, does he TP to that top lane, or does he just naturally get at his advantage because he's like, well, I'm not coming, guys, but I'm pushing this tower? I
do wonder if he would teleport. I feel like he'd kind of have to. He's not really the alpha in the team, so they'd say teleport. You'd be like, yes, so where am I teleporting? But I think you're right. And even I think Suning might have recognized that fact. And when you think about the changes in their draft from games 1 to 2, they added a Shen. You know, they added more globals, and they thought that maybe this is the way that we beat IG.
You talked about adding chaos to that mix and trying to break Invictus Gaming that way. Now, one of the most chaotic members that you seem to cannot break is Ning, who is actually going to take our man of the match, playing that phenomenal Kindred performance. Now, I also then got word from our producer that it was the Shy who walked back onto stage to set up his keyboard. So,
interesting.
Bit of a preview for game number 3, as Ning is the guy that ultimately takes us there, 5-1-5, although I feel like he maybe had a Zoe behind him.
He also had like 8 stacks at night. It's something insane. He had an incredible amount of stacks going on there on the Kindred.
The RNG was pretty much in his favor there, even though it was Invictus Gaming.
Yeah, any camp he went to, he found himself a stack miraculously, but Ning did have a good show. Credit to him. He's got the strongest mental in League of Legends if he can bounce back from that first one and get MVP in the second.
Lee Sin in game number 1, Kindred in game number 2. We'll see what Ning's going to have in game number 3, as we're going to game 3 right after this.
这个夏天 ，IG 有太多东西需要证明，请大家拭目以待。